Hello, I'm Nathan Martin with the Divine Pollination Hive and the UnityProcess.com, and I'd like to talk to you about disclosure. Disclosure is telling the truth, telling something that's happened, an event, letting out the dirty secrets. But why should we do disclosure? Or why should we not do disclosure? Why should the truth not be told? What kind of psychological repercussions could there be if the truth is told and somebody doesn't want to know the truth? That's what we're going to discuss in this video, so stay tuned if you'd like to learn more. From our perspective, this is a free will universe. And from all the data that we've gathered, what we understand about the universe is that it's a free will universe. So we can either go against free will or we can allow free will. It's kind of like the Star Trek Prime Directive, where they don't interfere. It's a non-interference clause where they don't interfere with the development of other worlds and planets. In this free will universe, you can either violate or not violate people's free will. Now, some people who are not ready to learn certain information, if you go ahead and tell them that information, you are violating their free will. But those people that do want to know certain information, ask the questions necessary, you're not violating their free will. If you look at the concept of disclosure, which is telling the secret, so let's say that the financial elite, the banks, the governments, the aliens, or whoever is out there that needs to be disclosed, that we need to know the truth about. Well, hello there. That we need to know the truth about. We have the opportunity to learn about them should we actually want to know about them. Disclosure is available, the possibility, but mass disclosure isn't for everybody because not everybody really wants to know the truth. And you can't force them to want to know the truth. So if I give them an answer to a question they didn't ask, that's akin to rape. I'm violating their free will by giving them an answer to a question that they never asked. Now, if they did ask the question and I give them the answer, now that is not a violation of free will, and I'm aligning with their free will to know this certain information. So the disclosure of this knowledge is being given to those who request it. But for those who do not request this knowledge because they want to stay in their illusion, they want to stay in their false reality, then they can continue to stay in their false reality as long as they don't want to know the truth. And so we have to really kind of come into an understanding within ourselves of what free will is and when we are or are not violating free will. For an example, there was a situation once with a certain couple. Now, we had information about this couple, about one of the people in this couple that was taking advantage of the other person in the relationship. Now, unfortunately, we weren't able to say anything to that person. We really wanted to, and we kept asking our angels and our guides and stuff, well, we really want to say something. But what we kept getting is, no, that's not the way to do it. And we're like, well, we don't understand why. Well, this is why, because what we would actually be doing is violating the other person's free will. And in fact, the parasitic person in the relationship kind of wanted disclosure. They wanted that because what would happen is the person that we were telling, violating their free will, they would actually look at us as the bad guy and then go towards the parasite more. It's interesting. Why would they look at us as the bad guy, telling them the truth about what was going on, and then go closer to the person who was actually supposedly doing these things? Well, because what's happening is now we're violating their free will in that moment by giving them an information that they didn't want to know. They didn't want to know. Now, they may say, oh, I wish you would have told me. No, they don't. They don't want to know. If they wanted to know, they would have found it out already and they would have asked you the question. They don't want to know. So if you violate their free will, they're going to see you as the bad guy. Then they're going to go to the first parasite that was doing all the bad things in the first place, and they're going to embrace them openly. And they're going to choose them over you. So what we really needed to do is we needed to go within and start doing our process. We had disclosure. We knew what was really going on. And it was clear that this other person in this couple did not want to know what was going on. So we couldn't violate their free will. So we had to go upon our feelings about how we felt about the situation. So we tapped on that. We're like, well, how do we feel about the situation? Why does this bother me? Why am I all upset? How am I enabling this person and helping out the parasite by enabling them? So what we ended up doing is we separated ourselves from them. We stopped enabling them so that the parasite could go full on and do the bad things they were doing on this person, on the other person in the couple, and harm them in this emotional way so that they could finally ask the right questions and figure it out for themselves and then get out of the situation. Now, they never found out that information, but they did leave the parasite. They did learn the lessons necessary so that they didn't go back to the parasite again. They're at the exact level they want to be. They're no longer with a parasite. They still don't know the information because they don't want to know the information. But at least they learn the lessons necessary to get out of that situation for themselves. We acted as a trusted advisor and we did not intervene. Any feelings that we had of wanting to intervene, we checked within ourselves and tried to understand ourselves and our motivations so that we could let go of our unhealthy motivations for wanting to cross their boundaries and give them information that they did not want. That's it. So when it comes to disclosure about all the aliens and all, the bad guys and the Illuminati and all these other things, we don't need to do that. We don't need to disclose anything to anybody except for those who ask. Those who have the question will ask the question and we can answer. That's the beauty of YouTube. People come to our YouTube channel when they have a question. They get the answer and then they move on their merry way. We're not shoving this down anybody's throats. We're not making them do it. We're not tricking them into watching our information. We're giving the information that some people want to know and other people don't want to know. The people who don't want to know don't come to us. And we don't go to them. The people who do want to know come to us. They have questions, we have answers. We give those people who have questions answers they desire. We do not give answers to those who do not have questions because we violate their free will. So the whole idea of mass disclosure, the whole idea of disclosing all the bad things that the world governments have been doing and all the secret governments and the secret space programs and the aliens and all these other things, those who have questions and want to know that stuff can figure it out. Those who don't, they don't need to figure it out. In fact, what they do need is they need to be closer to those bad things. We need to pull ourselves away emotionally from enabling them. We need to allow this macro segment of our spiritual family to get closer to the parasite. We need to withdraw ourselves. We need to give them the opportunity to experience the natural consequences, the effects of their actions and beliefs, thoughts, emotions, and attitudes. It's the best thing we can do for them because then they'll figure it out for themselves and they'll get out. And then when they're out, they'll continue to live the life that they want without getting the extra information that we have. They don't need it. They don't want it. They're not asking the questions. But they do want something and they want to experience this thing with the parasite. They have attachments to them. They have attachments to the parasite. Let them have their parasites. Let them go fully into the lie. Let them go into the delusion because they want it. Because then they can figure it out for themselves. They can prove that they can do it on their own. And that's what they want. That's what they need. And that's what, as a free will advisor, we do. I'm Nathan Martin with the Divine Pollination Hive and the UnityProcess.com. Be well.